Wanted to discuss the NBA Finals. Um, we've all had some time to digest. I'm probably try to go live for the draft next week. Just go into a little bit of the what I thought. Credit to Dallas, did a great job. Gafford, Lively, that combination was good. Good to see Tim Hardaway Jr. in the finals. Been through a lot of injuries. Really good player. Former Nick, former University of Michigan Wolverine. Father was a Hall of Famer. Tim Hardaway with the UTEP two step. We all remember Timmy Hardaway. Sorry, but yeah, uh, definitely shout out to them. I feel like Luca had a great season. Kyrie had a great season. Luca was right in there for MVP discussions. He might have finished second or third. I don't remember. Somebody could fact check that and throw it in the chat or something in the comments. Kyrie, one of the toughest one-on-one players of all time. So to Boston, Boston. I think a lot of it had to do with that combination of big point guards who can knock down the threes, right? Derek White, former D2 player, went D1 at Colorado. Remember him as a college, did well in college. And then Drew Holiday, Southern California kid, um, went to Taft High School, went to UCLA. A lot of his family went to UCLA, except his brother Justin that went to Washington. Um, and I think Drew Holiday was particularly key because he's a leader, and that's what they were missing, right? Jason Tatum, spectacular player. Jalen Brown, excellent year, Finals MVP. Really played really good defense this year. Um, Lived up to probably that two-way potential that people always wanted to see from him. Um, and Jason Tatum, good on defense as well. Boston had two All NBA defensive guards, so that makes a difference, right? And Drew Holiday providing that leadership was, in my opinion, the reason why they were able to come up over the top. Both Derek White and Drew Holiday regarding Kyrie, held Kyrie uh, under 20 points, I believe, for the season for the series. Um, so that lets you know that they were really playing some. They were doing the best that they could. Probably the most dynamic one-on-one player the game has ever seen as far as skill set. Right, Kyrie, unique, has all the finishes. High percentage shooter, one of the best shooters the game has ever seen. People don't really talk about his shooting, but look at his shooting splits. I mean, he was 50, 40, 90 at least once, right? So if you're 50, 40, 90, you're one of the best shooters the game's ever seen. And that might not be a popular opinion, but 50, 40, 90 is no joke. Um, Let me know in the chat your favorite your favorite Kyrie. Was it um, Cleveland Cavaliers Kyrie? Was it Boston Kyrie? Okay, Nikola Jokic. Yo, shout out to Jokic, man. Shout out to Jokic. Jokic is one of the greatest players that the game has ever seen. I remember my cousin a few years ago telling me, looking, Jokic is going to be a real problem, right? Turns out this guy is what, 2 or 3 time MVP, champion. To me, Jokic is in the, I, I don't think this is an exaggeration. I put him legitimately a top 30 all time player. Um, Honestly, you could make a case for him being a top 25 all time player. Like, he's that great. He's been that dominant. I mean, and the thing was, for him, Jokic was getting in shape and doing it defensively. And he did it. He did it defensively, right? So, I'm gonna get back to Boston. If anybody else wants me to discuss any other players, we could do that. Um, but I believe the keys were Kyrie and Derek White, those big point guards shooting the threes, right? Um, Another thing that Boston did really well was they were showing those big. They had the big bodies to put on Luca, right? So Luca, Luca's 6'7". He's big, right? You put Xavier Tillman on him, the Michigan State guy. You know he's going to be fundamental coming from Michigan State. Xavier Tillman, a mature guy, 4-year guy, I believe. Draymond Green, Michigan State. You know those Michigan State guys are going to know the game and they're going to play deep, right? You also give him the Jalen Brown look. You give him the Jason Tatum look. You could also put Sam Hauser on them, right? So they have a lot of guys in that 6'7", 6'9", that that range of height and strong bodies that matched up with Luca. Luca averaged 29, 8 rebounds, a little under 6 assists, 5 point something assists. So he played well, but it didn't feel like he was dominant enough to throw Boston off their game, right? And Boston, credit to them, they had the team. Credit to Joe Mazzulla. Interesting fact: I went to school with Joe Mazzulla. He went to West Virginia University when I was there. They won the Final Four. They beat John Wall, Eric Bledsoe. Who else? Who else? Eric Bledsoe, Daniel Orton. Uh, Not only Daniel Orton, it was DeMarcus Cousins. You can't forget DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie, right? So he coached at Glenville State. He was an assistant, I believe, and I believe Fairmont State. I actually went to the community college associated with Fairmont State as well. So a lot of West Virginia ties there. And he coached there. Went to the main Red Hawks, I believe, or Red Claws. Somebody put in the chat what they are, because I might be wrong on what they actually are. But he coached in the G League for a year, took the role, took them to the title, right? So shout out to him. And a credit to Ime Udoka as well. Ime Udoka was doing a good job with those guys. I mean, it's possible they would have won with Ime Udoka as well. I don't know. But I do think that Drew Holiday trade was the difference maker because he was the leader for those guys. As great as Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown were, I think they needed that extra leader. And you saw the difference between Giannis and not there's nothing to take away from Giannis. Giannis is cold. Giannis is another one. Same thing like uh yeah, right? Your Djokovic, Novak Djokovic. Oh, the Djokovic, you're talking about the tennis player. Um Djokovic, if you're talking about the tennis player, yeah, he's great too. Yeah, shout out to Djokovic. But um yeah, like they needed that extra leader to kind of be the guy who can get keep everybody accountable. And this happens in life. If you even if you're looking in the business world, if you go back and look at the history of Google, right? I'm on an Android phone right now, but like if you look at the history of Google, Sergey Brin, um, uh, uh, Page, um, Larry Page, right? They had a CEO as well. So sometimes it's not how great you are. You can sometimes you just need that extra person to be the guide. And Drew Holiday was the guide for them. And you saw the difference between Giannis. Like I think Giannis this year, there were times where he was a little bit frustrated. And Damian Lillard is a great leader. Dame is one of the best leaders in basketball. Dame is one of the great leaders in basketball, but I don't think he felt comfortable. I don't think he felt comfortable enough telling Giannis X, Y, Z, right? He hasn't been with him long enough. I don't even know if Dame is going to be in Milwaukee again this year. What a season. Boston finished great. Shout out to Milana, Belgian. Shout out to you. Wish you well. I don't know if you're in Serbia right now. God bless. Wishing you well. Prayers for you and your loved ones in Jesus' name. Wishing you well. Thank you for coming on. Gerardo Pena. I hope I'm saying that. Gerardo Pena. I hope I'm saying it right. Shout out to you, Mr. Pena. Boston finished great. Tatum murdered the playoffs. Then Jalen Brown performed well. Yeah, yo, listen, Tatum is great. Yo, Tatum is one of the best players in the game. I don't know why people are kind of feeling like I don't know if they feel like he didn't do what they wanted him to do. Jason Tatum. The thing about Jason Tatum, the thing that I want to give the most credit to Jason Tatum for is the fact that that man he didn't let his ego get involved, right? He wasn't listen, when they were talking about Jalen Brown's the best player, when they were talking about different things about, obviously Jalen Brown got that massive contract. Jason Tatum's gonna get his contract. He's got a title. He's multi-time All NBA. He's a title guy. He's a multi-time All Star. Like if Jason Tatum retires right now, he's an NBA Hall of Famer, guaranteed, first ballot. Like he's one of the coldest dudes, one of the best Celtics that ever lived. So there's nothing you can take away from Jason Tatum. But yeah, I mean, Jalen Brown, he lived up to it. Like if you're gonna get the biggest contract, like that's the way to do it. If you're gonna get the biggest contract in NBA history, at this point, he's conference finals, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He's NBA Finals MVP. So that's the way to prove your worth. You know what I mean? And we all know Jalen Brown is one of them smart guys. He's one of those guys that could be doing other things other than basketball, right? Me being a purple and gold. Okay. Me being purple. So you're a Lakers guy. Okay. Well, yeah. We can get into the Lakers real fast. Hate to see Boston win, and about Missoula winning. So weird. We'll be back this season as long as the big media come our way. Nah, you'll get the big media. You'll get the big media. You'll get the big media. Um, Listen, LA is going to be interesting. I don't know if they're, it seemed kind of interesting. Stephen A was talking about, they picked up JJ Redick. They picked up JJ Redick, after as soon as LeBron and him start a podcast, then he becomes the coach. They might pick up Bronny. You know what I mean? Like LeBron knows how to handle the media. So the big media, you'll be good. You'll be good. LeBron knows what he's doing. AD LeBron data. AD LeBron data. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I don't. What does that mean? What do you mean by data? Like, is LeBron's daddy? Yo, AD as well. It's one of the greatest players the game has ever seen. Chicago kid. College title, NBA title. One thing I want to say about AD though is I would have liked to see him get a defensive player of the year. Like he's never gotten it. And to me, if you look at what he's done on both sides of the ball, the shot blocking, his ability to guard smaller players in the pick and roll, la da da, la da da. Yeah. Shout out to yeah, yeah, man. His ability to guard smaller guys. Um, what do I think the Lakers kind of need? I mean, hey, listen. Oh yeah, etc. Got you. Okay, etc. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Like, I don't know if you're thinking that the Lakers are gonna get Devin Booker or Devin Booker or Spider Mitchell. I don't know. Spider Mitchell being Donovan Mitchell, Spider Mitchell being a New York guy. You know what I mean? I don't know if you think he's gonna go to New York. Interesting because the uh the Leon Rose, who's part of the management with the Knicks, is a CAA. His management, his sports agency is the same as both those guys. So I don't know if that's gonna bring them to New York or any one of them to New York, but I could see Devin Booker in some purple and gold. He's got that purple and gold kind of flow to him. So you put Devin Booker with AD and LeBron and who else? Who else you got out there? They do need another wing scorer, maybe like a backup point guard. You know what I mean? Yeah. And keeping AD at the four instead of putting him at the five, I'm sure he'll be happy there. Yeah, I'm back. Stay prayed up, y'all. God bless in Jesus' name. Yeah, yeah. I was basically trying to, discuss the finals. I think the Lakers got good potential. So, shout out to the Lakers. You mentioned Joe Mazzulla. Yeah, Missoula. Yeah. Credit to Missoula. Um, he did. He did what he had to do. He maintained the team. He kept the positive vibes. Thought Cold Gaming. Use Sigma. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Use Sigma. But thanks for jumping on Thought Cold Gaming. I appreciate that. Shout out to you, man. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody for jumping on. Just wanted to discuss the Celtics, and y'all could I think this will come back. If not, I'll try to post something that y'all could watch. All right, take care.